English 121, Organizing and Developing Ideas, from the Allen and Bacon Guide, pages 439 to 443, 451 to 455, and 458 to 467. In order to effectively focus and organize your argumentative writing, be sure to understand the function of paragraphs within your essay. Your book distinguishes between topic phrases and point sentences. Topic phrases simply invite you to picture an idea in your mind, but do not help you conceptualize a meaningful point within your argument. Point sentences, on the other hand, can be supported through details as part of your argument. Be sure to organize your argument into meanings, not topics, within your paragraphs. The first strategy is chunking. This is where you identify certain ideas, sections, or parts that you want to include somewhere in your essay. Listing these chunks will help you begin thinking about the structure of your writing. Be sure to distinguish between high-level points and supporting details. And make a scratch outline to help with your planning of the essay. From there, you can move on to nutshelling your argument. Nutshelling helps ensure that your essay has a problem thesis structure rather than a chronological or data dump structure. It will help you focus on the big picture of your argument, the main idea and purpose. Consider the following prompts. What problem initiated your thinking about this topic? What do you think your readers will think about this problem before reading your essay versus how do you want them to think about the problem after reading it? What is the purpose of your argument? What question does your argument address? What would be your one-sentence answer to the question? This is your thesis statement. And what would be a tentative title for your argument? From there, create an outline. This is the most common way of visualizing structure by using numbers and letters to indicate levels of points, subpoints, and details. You can also use tree diagrams to display a hierarchical structure visually, using horizontal and vertical space instead of letters and numbers. The main ideas of the argument appear as branches beneath the claim, and supporting evidence appears as sub-branches between each main point. Unlike outlines, tree diagrams allow us to see the hierarchical structure of points and details and the relationship between them. But it's most important to develop your own personal way of visualizing your structure. From there, move on to creating effective topic sentences for each paragraph. Place point sentences at the beginnings of paragraphs so that the reader will interpret the particulars that follow as support for the point rather than simply random information. Readers of closed-form prose need to have point sentences, usually called topic sentences, at the beginnings of their paragraphs. When polishing your work, you can revise your topic sentences to better match what the paragraph actually says, or revise the paragraph to better match the topic sentence. Paragraphs achieve unity when all of their sentences focus on developing the point stated in the topic sentence. A paragraph may lack unity for several reasons. It may shift to a new direction in the middle, or one or two sentences may simply be irrelevant to the point. The key is to make sure that all the sentences in the paragraph fulfill the reader's expectations based on the topic sentence. Adding particulars to support your points strengthens the argument and proves the points presented in the topic sentences with facts and examples. These particulars could include facts, statistics, quotations, research summaries, examples, or further subpoints. Remember that in order to achieve unity, everything in the paragraph must connect to the topic sentence. It's also important to fulfill your reader's expectations for old information before new information. Presenting old before new information occurs when writers begin sentences with something old, that is, something that links to what has come before, and then end the sentences with new information. When a writer doesn't begin a sentence with old material, readers have to hold the new material in suspense until they have figured out how it connects with what has gone before. You want to place old information near the beginning of the sentence in the topic position and place new information that advances the argument at the end of the sentence in the stress position. Old, backward-linking material comes at the beginning of the sentence, and new, argument-advancing material comes at the end. There are several strategies for making links to the old material. You can link a word or concept in the link to a word or concept in the immediately preceding sentence, thus creating coherence or flow from one sentence to the next. You can link to a keyword or concept in a preceding topic sentence, which creates unity. Or you can link to a preceding forecasting statement about structure, such as the thesis, thus helping readers map their location within the text. And finally, when organizing and developing your ideas, there are several patterns that writers can use to set up expectations in the reader's mind about the shape of the upcoming text, anything from a few sentences to an entire paragraph or even a larger block of paragraphs. Try the for example move. This occurs when a writer makes an assertion and then illustrates it with one or more examples, often signaling the move explicitly with transitions such as for example, for instance, or a case in point. This move creates a pattern of expectation and fulfillment. Also try the summary however move. This occurs whenever a writer sums up another person's viewpoint in order to qualify or contradict it, or to introduce an opposing view. Typically, writers use transition words such as but, however, in contrast, or on the other hand between parts of this move. This move is typically common in academic writing, which often contrasts the writer's new view with prevailing views. Also try the division into parallel parts move. This move occurs when a writer begins with an umbrella sentence that forecasts the structure and creates a framework, then transitions using signal phrases and an echo-like grammatical structure to move from one part of the framework to the next. This move can be used within a single paragraph, or it can control larger stretches of text in which a dozen or more paragraphs may work together to complete a parallel series of parts. And finally, try the compare-contrast move. This occurs when a writer juxtaposes two or more ideas that have differences and commonalities. To compare or contrast two items, you must first decide on the points of comparison or contrast. There are two methods for executing this move. The first, the side-by-side pattern, occurs when you discuss all of point A's ideas and then all of point B's ideas. The second, the back and forth pattern, occurs when you discuss point A's ideas on the first issue and then point B's ideas on the same issue. Then point A's ideas on a different issue along with point B's ideas, and so on, weaving back and forth. Use these moves to fulfill the expectations that you set up for your readers when organizing and developing your paragraphs, all the while keeping your argumentative writing clear and persuasive.